Made Simple.
Welcome to day 44 of Business Made Simple, the book and video series that will teach you everything you need to know to grow a business. Well, it's day 3 of learning to sell, and today's tip can be applied to a lot more than just selling. It can be applied to leadership, it can be applied to relationships, to parenting, basically anything else in life that deals with people. Today's tip is this: stop playing the hero and start playing the guide. Well, you've heard me talk a lot in this series about heroes, villains, guides. These are all characters in stories, as you remember. And when you are selling, the temptation is so strong to play the hero. I'm going to be the hero and go in and rescue this customer. Don't do it. What you want to do is you want to play the guide. It's one of the major roles in movies. You know, the hero and the guide interact the whole movie. But the hero is actually who the movie is about, and you want the story to be about your customer, not about you. The job of the guide is to help the hero win the day. So when we're selling, we often start talking about ourselves and our company and our products, again, how great they are. I know you got a great product, but it's not going to help you sell. You want to instead play the guide. You want to be the character in the hero's story that is there simply to help them win. You're going to invite that customer into a story, as we talked about earlier, but then you're going to play a role in that story. You're going to play the guide. What does the guide do? Well, as it relates to selling, a guide does at least 3 things. The first thing the guide does is they remind the hero what the story is about. You got to keep repeating, you've got this problem, I want to solve that problem. You've got this problem, I want to solve that problem. We've got a product that will help you solve that problem. That's what the story is about. Then, second thing, the guide gives the hero a plan to resolve their problem and win the day. You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda, their plan is to train Luke up in the ways of the Force and help him destroy the Death Star. There's a plan for doing that. It's even a detailed step-by-step plan that is unfolded in the movie. You want to give your customer hero a plan that will help them use your product to resolve their problem. And then third, and again, I know I'm repeating myself, but stories don't stop working and they don't change. You want to foreshadow the climactic scene. Your life will look like this if you buy my product and service. You know, in the book and in this video series, I shared an example of trying to sell children's playground equipment, right? And let's say you're selling to commercial entities, to churches, to schools, things like that. You know, my line might be something like this: I know you're looking for a way for your church to be more inviting to the community, and it's frustrating to try to relay how welcoming you really are, right? There's the problem. After you install the playground and invite the community to the grand opening, you will have sent a warm message and more folks will feel a connection with the congregation. There's the solution. I think that will result in more people in church and more lives being changed. That's the result. So you've got all the components there of inviting somebody into a story. It's similar to the one-liner that we talked about in our marketing campaign, except when you're talking about a sales rep, you really want them to sort of be able to exchange and interchange these elements of story so that it's almost like an intuitive sense that I don't need to be talking about myself. I need to be talking about the customer's problem. I don't need to talk about how glorious my product is. I need to just position it as a solution to the problem. I don't need to be talking about that I'm the sales rep of the year or whatever. I need to actually be painting a climactic scene for my customer. Any sales rep who can, almost like a language, interchange these elements of story while they're talking with customers, I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it intuitively. These lines or variations thereof become the guide's talking points. And what you want as a sales rep is you want to memorize those talking points as they relate to your customer, and you want to keep repeating them over and over. The key to inviting customers into a story is to figure out the talking points that define the story, and then you repeat them in lunch meetings and emails, you repeat them in your proposals, you repeat them in phone calls, you just keep repeating them. And when you repeat them over and over, the customer feels themselves invited and even living into this story that you are directing, if you will. The customer will enter into something that we call narrative transportation. Narrative transportation is when that story so infiltrates their brain that they begin to live into that story. They're being transported into that story. You enter into narrative transportation when you watch a Netflix series. You enter into it when you watch a movie and you want your customers to enter into it. The only way to do that is to be really clear about what those elements are and keep repeating them until that customer enters into narrative transportation and buys a product to solve your problem. Any team member who plays the guide and recognizes that the customer is the hero is of terrific value as a professional on the open market. Here is today's Business Made Simple tip of the day. Prepared to find talking points that invite customers into a story and repeat those talking points over and over.